Hey guys, Mustang here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we're going to be taking a look at HIRUDEGARN now at 55%. Just like the Goku, mine is freshly pulled and awakened, so he is level 1 Lynx. I did find a 55% friend as well, just so they are both 55% for the showcase. Now, oh boy, this team, HIRUDEGARN's team is pretty terrible. He is a leader for movie bosses or resurrected warriors. With the 30% extra going to legendary existence or transformation boost. So transformation boost is a good plus 30% for those categories, but the combination otherwise is a bit of a yikes. He raises defense and does immense damage to the enemy, so he infinitely stacks defense in his base. And then he gets an entrance animation, gets 3 key and 100% attack and defense, a high chance to crit for 5 turns. Then he has attack and defense 200%, additional 100% when attacking, great chance to evade the enemy's attacks. Then he launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super within the same turn after evading an attack. So obviously, ideally, he wants to be in slot 1 to get that ability. And then he gets 10% defense up to 50% with each attack evaded. So ideally, he dodges a bunch of attacks and then you get his like buffs and everything. And then he can transform when HP is 70% or less, starting from turn 3 or starting from turn 6. So basically the same condition as Goku. So in terms of links and link partners, he's not exactly the craziest in that regard either. At least we can get a super for him, but even Saviors looks better than this team. I don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah, this team is not... This team ain't it, Chief, is what I would say. So, straight away we're going to get supered. And we don't dodge. Nice. Good 70% dodge chance there. Let's go. So, 6.5 million on the attack. Now, remember, each attack is going to be infinitely stacking defense. But, great showing. You got to love the fact that unit with a 70% chance to dodge going to get his buffs and build up from his passive and stuff by dodging. Literal first attack of the video is a super and he doesn't dodge it. Because if this was a more difficult event and that happens on turn 1, we could be essentially just, you know, basically game over at this point. Like, not, maybe he wouldn't die, but we might not then actually survive the rotation depending on how it plays out. But wow, he wasn't actually able to kill him. Oh, I was going to say, I get a brief moment of respite here, because if I remember to turn the animations off before Frieza comes, Golden Frieza, I can... Oh my god, look at this. I was going to say, I get to have this guy go first, and then I can pick up the... I can get the dodge and everything, but we... Actually, no. What do you share? Revival. Okay, perfect. Revival. Now, we do have big bad bosses with this guy, but we're not on low enough HP, because I didn't actually realise that the guest is 55%, but they've already maxed out their links. So he has big bad bosses all the time, whereas R1, of course, does not. So 224k defense, pre-super, certainly not the craziest when it comes to, like, if this is a unit that the game is wanting you to run in slot 1, and then you don't get that 75% chance to dodge, or 70% chance to dodge, that's not great defense. So, of course, this guy gets the 2 dodges. So he's now got a extra 20% defense. And then we do get the additional attack as well. But, of course, we kill the Frieza this turn. So... Okay, so let's do this. Well, I was not quite expecting that, but okay. I guess we'll do this and hope. I just hope he doesn't AoE like in the middle of the turn. Alright, good. Alright, so we dodge 1. So we get a 1 defense boost on this guy. He's already gotten a super off on the previous turn, so at least that was 1 stack. Then we get our super. We get the additional from the hidden potential, which is good. Oh, sorry, from the passive, because he dodged an attack before attacking, so he gets that extra attack. Because yeah, we want to get as many dodges as early as we can to get that passive defensive build up for him. But remember, when it comes to extreme units, you're always going to be at a disadvantage if you haven't got big bad bosses at link level 10. Because 25% extra attack and defense is a pretty significant buff to the stats. And if you're, especially at level 1, the restriction is 80% or less HP. It can be very annoying when you don't have that active. Because it is, like I say, a pretty significant buff. Especially when it comes to defense, which is very important. So HIRUDEGARN getting another dodge. Let's go. And Cell dodging the type disadvantage AoE super. You love to see that. Alright, so no big bad bosses, sadly. We've gotten a couple of dodges with this guy. So now he's at start of turn 375k defense, which is a little bit better. He's still not going to be, you know, eating normals, eating supers or anything. But even some of the toughest boss normals, of course, will be doing damage to him as well. But not the worst. Right, we get the dodge. He's at 4.27. So his attack stat pre-transformed isn't super crazy, but once he transforms, that's when he starts to go crazy. I'm not floating him off now. Now, that's the thing you can do, of course, is that when you transform one, they then become 7 out of 7 link partners with each other, which is quite good. But I want to try, I'm just using them both as like the main slot 1 unit for this particular build. Now this team, obviously HIRUDEGARN is going to get some buffs. He's on Broly's 200% leader skill. So that's very good. Because on global right now, his only 200% leaders other than himself are STR LR Cooler, who's pretty outdated for the most difficult content. Sword of Hope Trunks, because he's 200% for time travelers. But he just doesn't fit on that team, like, at all. And then I think there's like one other one. But yeah, it just is not good. Actually, it might only be those two, and then it's Broly. So, and of course Broly's not out yet. So, let's get another stack on the defense here for you. Might as well. I'll try to anyway. Yeah, 5.4 with support, not too bad. But again, like I say, his untransformed state is supposed to be more defensive, but then at the same time, I say that, he's relying on dodge, which means any times he's not dodging, and he's not going to be as good defensively. So that is, of course, something that you have to bear in mind. But yeah, I mean, look at that, this team. This team has some okay units on it, like the Golden Frieza, but it's certainly not his best, like, scenario. The fact that this is what, we're only on the 3rd phase now, and it's turn 6. But yeah, let's go ahead and transform HIRUDEGARN here. We've got basically 700k defense start of turn before we transform. So we're going to go ahead and exchange now into the perfect form HIRUDEGARN. Alright, so now that we've transformed, we greatly raise attack for 1 turn and cause immense damage to the enemy. Then we get key 3, attack and defense 250, additional attack 150 when attacking, additional attack and defense 100%, and chance of performing a crit as the first, and high chance as the first attacker in the turn. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance to super, then another great chance to attack that becomes a super if he dodges. There's a high chance, sorry, if he dodges. He has a great chance to dodge. So he has 2 additionals. If he dodges an attack in slot 1, he has 2 additionals from his passive. One is just a guaranteed attack with a great chance to become a super. Then if he dodges, he has an additional attack with a high chance to become a super. Then he has the hidden potential as well. So he could super 4 times in 1 turn. And then he builds up crit and dodge chance within the same turn with each attack evaded by 10%. And if he dodges 3 attacks, he has guaranteed dodge on the next turn. So if he dodges all 3 of these attacks that he's going to face here, he will have a guaranteed dodge on the next turn, which is pretty good. So we got big bad bosses active because we're below the HP threshold. We have 465k defense, but we get the extra 100% once we're locked in as slot 1. So let's see. Okay, we dodged the first attack at least. Good. Because you've got to get the first one dodged, otherwise it's not going to be great. 8.3, yeah, so this is where the attack stats now start to show up, right? Once he becomes the perfect form HIRUDEGARN. Because we still have another attack, so there's another, like, basically 9 million super. And then, of course, at 55%, unless you've given him skill orbs, he won't have additional in the hidden potential, but... And there you go, that was 3 dodges, so that was all the 70% chances from his passive, but he now will guarantee dodge on the next turn. So... Because that's the kind of thing you want to get in, like, one of these more difficult events. Because then if you end up with a turn where there's, like, you know, 5 attacks in one slot, and potentially one of those is a super, if HIRUDEGARN's dodged 3 times the turn before, then obviously you can then just put him in front of all of those attacks, and he's going to dodge guaranteed. Plus he, of course, gets the buffs that he wants from dodging, getting the extra attack and everything. So it does work out quite nicely. Yeah, it's a shame he doesn't really share a lot of good links with Frieza. So we'll do that. Alright, we got the slot 1 dodge. But yeah, I mean, 9 million as his first super of the turn, and then he drops like a couple of extra ones as well if you get the good RNG. It's pretty nice. Sadly, of course, you can have situations like this where because we then killed him, he only got 1 dodge on that turn. So we don't get the extra dodge chance, but... right, so let's go for... So this HIRUDEGARN has a 100% chance to dodge on this turn, remember? So we get our dodge, which gives us the buff. 8.1. I mean, the biggest problem with him is even if you can put together like a passable team, he doesn't have the best link partners. Like his best link partners are units like the like Super Janembas, but they're all outdated at this point. And then he has random 4 link partners like Android 13, and of course they can be on movie bosses together, but they don't exactly have the greatest cohesion with the rest of the team members as well. It's a very weird setup for HIRUDEGARN, I will say, but at least like the numbers that he does, pretty legit. Especially once you get him to transform. Like, you can absolutely have a run with HIRUDEGARN where he's just going to dodge everything all the time, and then once he's transformed, he's dropping those like 8 to 9 mil attacks. Again, this is without like them being link leveled. So I mean, it's certainly not terrible, but it's funny to think as well the fact that it's out of my summons, the HIRUDEGARN is the one that I pulled the most copies of, despite wanting to pull multiple copies of the Goku if possible. But I mean, he's certainly not a terrible unit, but yeah, I don't know. He's an interesting one to be sure, mainly because of his team, I think, and the fact that, like I say, he's not got many other 200% options. 10 million, almost exact 10 million on this turn, thanks to Big Bad Bosses, the support from Barbody. So, I mean, this is where he looks pretty good. 55%, and he's dropping multiple 10 million attacks. And consistently dodging stuff. 11 mil for the third one here. All of these have the chance to be a crit as well. So, I mean, not bad. Yeah, he's just dodging everything. I think this was the one that didn't actually dodge enough during the previous turn, so now he has guaranteed dodge on the next turn. He just already dodged everything, and then has guaranteed dodge on the next turn. Like, you can see turns like that is where HIRUDEGARN looks pretty good, especially considering, as I've said, this is him at 55%. So, I mean, he's certainly looking pretty decent here. But yeah, not the craziest unit, but certainly fun. So let's go for this. I don't want to get any same type orbs because my one is only just on the cusp of having Big Bad Bosses active. So if I heal at all, he won't have it. But I mean, You can't really argue with turns like that. Now on this turn where we've got no support and like 2 links active, his attacks aren't as crazy. But I guess if he's fulfilling the role for you where he is basically just dodging everything, the fact any damage that he's doing on top is a bonus. And with the built-in crit chance, like we're getting all these extra attacks and they're fairly consistently being crits. So, and he dodged a super. He has guaranteed dodge next turn now, because obviously he didn't this turn because he took 1 normal, but then he dodged more than 3 attacks. So on his next turn he has guaranteed dodge. Like if you get into that cycle, that can be really, really effective, because the other HIRUDEGARN has guaranteed dodge on the next turn as well now from the previous turn. So you can get them into a good little setup where you're essentially having untouchable slot 1 units that are then dropping, you know, some pretty solid attacks. They're converting those attacks into crits. So he looks good. His team is just so bad though. It's pretty shocking. At least he has big bad bosses. Wow, yeah, Golden Freezer after his damage reduction starts to wear out is not ideal. Right, this is the guy that has level 10 links, isn't it? So it doesn't matter. We have more links active if we have him in slot 1 as well. So let's go for this. We'll get these for you to get the support buff. So start of turn, his defense is 548k. He gets an extra 100% in slot 1 anyway. And then, yeah, of course, this guy has guaranteed dodge on this turn. So, yeah, Rose no longer has the worst 200% lead on global. Yeah, this guy's 200% team is definitely worse. But yeah, 11 million attack. I mean, when this Tech Janemba gets an easy A, he's going to be super helpful for a whole bunch of teams. But yeah, big crit Dokkan attack. So, I mean, there you go. So that was HIRUDEGARN at 55%. He's certainly interesting, but he's not the craziest unit, to be sure, in terms of team, in terms of setups. He's got a couple of good links. At least he has big bad bosses, right? It's not like a Broly situation where we get a big new extreme release and he doesn't even have big bad bosses. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one with HIRUDEGARN. I didn't put the sticker on my one, so let's go ahead and give him the sticker here so we can see his effect. I don't think it's going to be that crazy based on his art, or at least for the untransformed, but yeah, it's basically just the lightning effects. But what about the yeah, the fire looks kind of cool, but yeah, so that was HIRUDEGARN at 55%. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Certainly an interesting unit. Of course, he's the one that I pulled dupes for, so we will take him into some of the tougher events. We'll see how he does against Zamasu and Omega. Hopefully we will get, it wasn't in the news today, but hopefully we start getting those new red zone stages come out. It'll be fun to try these guys in those as well. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.